All right, guys, it is Monday, the 19th of December. Welcome to our Stay True call. We've got our guest speaker tonight, Jeff Armbruster. I won't give a big introduction because he always tells me not to, but the dude's awesome. So we'll just leave it at that. It's multiple star, all that. But no, we're going to get started tonight. Some very exciting news was announced today on our coach call morning, or the wake up call. So some much momentum, a lot to be excited about. Jeff's going to give us his perspective on that on this call. First, I wanted to start off real quick with a little recognition from last week's volume point leaders. There weren't too many people over 100 points. We only had 5 of us over 100 points. I've noticed that second week of the month is very low, so we need to kind of focus and try to increase our sales on that second week next month in order to kind of even this out. But long story short, Beth Akins led the way with 525 volume points. I was right behind Beth with 480. Couldn't take her down this week. Dan Barry had 322 points, and Suzanne Piercy had 180 points, and Sonny Laughlin had 105 points. So congrats to those 5 people for getting over 100 points of volume last week. And anything else, really? All right, Jeff, do you want to take over and talk about what was announced today and your perspective and how that will help our down?
Sure. And this is just informal, so you guys raise your hand if you got a question on anything that I'm talking about. But I, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, because I had to live with this information for like 5 days without being able to spill it. But last Thursday, I got a preview of it on what we call a wall call with Carl. And he went in a little bit more in depth on that call than he did even in the National Wake Up Call, because we had like an hour and a half on that. So I might try to fill in the blanks on some things that maybe you guys are unclear of or whatever. But the highlights of it, and let me start by saying that I marinated on it for like 24 hours before I really decided if I was super excited or just excited about it. Because sometimes with our launches, I have to ask myself, is this really going to be what I would call a game changer? Or is this just going to be another cool promotion that we got going on? And the answer to the question is I think that this is not just going to be a revival. And I say revival because like maybe you and Mary Beth have felt, Glenn, and some of your team, we've all seen kind of a volume dip a little bit, or a slowdown over the last 6 to 7 months, which, let me preface it by saying, it's not just Beachbody, it's all MLMs across the board. It's corporate America overall. Disney, for instance, saw like a 23% dip in their income or their revenues from the year before, and a lot of it's got to do with the election. And now that that's over, we're kind of getting back to normal life again. And what I saw announced last Thursday, and you guys saw this morning, is not just necessarily, I love the Star Wars shirt, by the way, dude, is not just a revival. It's a revolution, in my opinion, because what it does is it puts Beachbody in the same arena as Amazon as far as the Amazon Prime. You have to look at what they announced today. It's kind of like the Amazon Prime of fitness, or the Beachbody On Demand as the Netflix of fitness. Now we got both of those awesome mentalities together. So what they announced today was the Beachbody On Demand All Access Challenge Pack. Okay, it's going to be available starting next Tuesday, the 27th of December. And it's going to be on sale through February 28th, but it's going to be available even after February 28th. It just goes back to normal price, or it starts off at the normal price. But it's going to be $199. To me, that's just an insane price for what they're giving you. You get, your new customers. You got to look at this from a new customer perspective, or maybe an existing customer that just wants to get a new challenge pack. They're going to get their Shakeology on Home Direct. Okay, they're going to get the Portion Fix container system, which is like a $25 or $30 value from what I think it is in the store. They're also going to get, if they're a brand new coach, they join as a coach, they're going to get their welcome packet in the mail and their first month waived. But they're going to get Beachbody on Demand in two new flavors, if you want to call it. One, they're going to get it for $99 a year, which is $60 less than we pay as a $39.99 club membership every quarter. $60 cheaper, and it's a better version of it. They're going to get all access, which means every program that we have ever created that's on the on-demand platform, plus any program that we will create in the future. Okay, I mean, it's nuts. It comes out, I done the math today. For the Beachbody On Demand for the year, when you're talking to your gym rats, it comes out to 27 cents a day. So for 27 cents a day, and that's basically just, $99 divided by 365 days. It comes out to like 27 cents a day. So they're going to get a gym membership in their house for 27 cents a day. Then if you want to combine the fact that they're going to be on Shakeology, we're going to get it for around $4.50 a day for when you take into account the Shakeology and this. It's like $4.60 something. So they're basically going to get for around $4.50 a day, they're going to get the healthiest meal of the day. Okay, and if you guys are having trouble marketing Shakeology, I market the same to everybody. I tell people that if you have, Shakeology is not magic. I say if you have the ability to go to the store and source out all these ingredients in the 25 superfoods and buy your antioxidants, your amino acids, your digestive enzymes, your pre and probiotics, you don't need Shakeology. It's not magic. But who the hell has the time or the money to do that? So you're basically getting something that can be looked at as a meal replacement and get your total nutrition, or if you're already healthy and you're where you want to be weight-wise, you're doing it in addition to get the same thing. You're getting that for around $4 a day. It's like $4.20 something is what it comes out to for customers, and it's a little bit less for us as coaches. It's like $3 something for us as coaches. But basically for $4.60 a day, they're getting a gym membership in their home for a full year and their Shakeology. It's just an insane price. But then the really cool way to market it is the gym membership alone is 27 cents a day. Now, here's the parts, and you guys are all coaches. I don't need to sell this to you, but here's the parts that I think are key to understand. 3 things that excite me about this. 1, we as a company have a company motto, a mission, to help people achieve a healthy, fulfilling life, right? And one thing I've often struggled with, and Carl talked about this a little bit today, we talked more about it last Thursday, is the fact that one of the things he's always struggled with is the fact that after we help somebody with 90 days of P90X or 21 days of the, maybe 42 days, or maybe it's 63 days, they do a few rounds on the 21-day fix or whatever, there's always a question is, I want to do a new program. What do I do next with our loyal customers? One thing I've always struggled with to a certain degree is the fact that I've always felt a little bit of guilt about making people buy another program. Okay, that's just how I am wired. This takes that guilt out for me, and it really does help people not only save some money, but it does a couple things. They now can just press play on another program without having to buy a new program. They have it instantly because it's going to be there. The second thing it does is it a loyal customer who loves the Beachbody On Demand and being part of a new program all the time is going to stay on their Shakeology. It's going to increase the retention, and you're going to see less cancellations from our customers because they're going to feel like they're valued. They don't have to buy another program. That's just a huge selling point for me. And it also takes away what I call the sticker or price shock part that happens after 30 days, if they just bought a normal challenge pack, or after 30 or 90 days, they bought just a club challenge pack, where they're not only getting hit with their Shakeology each month, but now an extra $40 for the club. It takes away that 2 cars coming together and crashing at the same time, and they get sticker shock when they see that. They get pissed off. They message you and say, what's this new charge for the club? And they call and they cancel everything. It's going to take that away too, okay? Because now Amazon Prime, they're just once a year going to get charged for the club, and they're going to be notified well in advance with an email that their renewal is about to happen, so they can discuss that with you. It takes away that part of it too. I've always felt that over the last year, every single month, we've had one program, or maybe even more than one program, that's been $140, the challenge pack of the month, right? I've never been a fan of that. I actually, my last year in CAB, I asked them and begged them to get rid of that, because I've always felt that we undervalued those programs. For one, it's the program that maybe not be selling the best, or maybe it is selling the best and they want to keep it going. So they sell it at $140. We only make like was it a $40 commission off that, or a $50? I think it was $40 commission, and only 35 team volume points traveled up to, our team for that, which is why a big part of why a lot of us see volumes dip, because all of us coaches were only selling the challenge pack of the month for $140 because we wanted to make our 2 success points or whatever it is. I've often hated that. I've never been a fan of that. I've talked to all my customers the same way. What program is best fit for you? Then I would help them find the right challenge pack. Was it sometimes a 140? Yes. But I've often felt that we were like devaluing ourselves and our services as a coach by just selling them the $140 pack. Hope you guys get what I'm saying. This right now does 2 things. It not only increases our commissions, they go from now $40 from the 140 pack to $70 with this new on-demand all-access pack. So we're getting like $30 more per sale now. It also increases our PV to 180. Okay, personal volume, you're going to get 180 from this. But here is the golden nugget in all this. Team volume is now being, on this pack, is 65 TV. So that means when Glenn sells a all-access pack, Mary Beth is going to get 65 TV, or when Mary Beth sells a pack, Glenn's going to get 65 TV that rolls up to him. Now, your challenge pack of the month mentality is going to give you almost double what you were doing before. Team volume is going to jump back up. It's going to grow, which means you guys are going to see more commissions, more cycles as you're an Emerald and Diamond and Star Diamond and grow. This is going to solve everybody's complaint about we're seeing a dip in business. You're seeing a dip in business because all you're doing is promoting that cheap $140 challenge pack for 35 TV.
I was going to say,
so happy. Go ahead.
Motivation to get to Emerald too, because I know a lot of you are in the Emerald training group, and this is just another reason. Get up, get to Emerald, guys. I mean,
you're going to go way beyond Emerald with this. You should have no problem getting to Emerald, getting customers. It may take you a little while to ramp these customers up to the point where they feel like they're getting success and they want to become coaches, but you're going to have an easier time after your coaches complete, your customers complete a program, and they want to do the next one. They become more ingrained in this community. It's going to be an easier time for you to get them to be a coach themselves, because they're already going to love the community. They're going to have all access to the programs. And now you're going to say, hey, I appreciate the people you've been sending to me, but why don't you become a coach and want to do this yourself and get your Shakeology for even cheaper than you're getting it for right now? So, there's going to be, in my opinion, it's just a myriad of benefits coming from this pack. And with the top one being that we are no longer devaluing our challenge packs each month. Now, challenge packs are going to remain intact, all of them, with the physical DVDs for at least 2017, because there's still a small demographic of people who likes the DVDs. It's growing small. If you guys don't think that they're ever going to go away, just go into a Best Buy this Christmas season and look at how small the DVD section has become. That is handwriting on the wall. DVDs, like CDs, are being replaced very quickly by MP3s and streaming video, just like tapes went away and we never thought they were. It's just what's going to happen. Everything's going to be streaming and on demand, and the DVDs and challenge packs will eventually at some point phase out. But right now there's still a small demand for them. So while we predict, and I say we because Carl mentioned on that Thursday thing, probably 80% or more of our challenge packs are going to be these all access or club challenge packs, because that's what people want. They want the streaming. But the remaining packs will be there. But I would almost guarantee that unless you have a customer who says, I don't do streaming, I want DVDs, you're going to sell very few of them. Now, obviously, if you have a customer that just says, I don't do streaming, which probably says they're over 50 years old or 55 years old, and they just don't do that, that's for their kids to do. If they say that, yeah, you get them fit into the right program that they want. But the majority of the people you're going to talk to are going to want the streaming, just because one of the first things I always ask any new customer prospect, one of the very first things when I'm kind of feeling them out, I always ask them, you have Netflix in your house? If they say yes, then that tells me that I'm needing to look at the club challenge pack or the all access challenge pack. That's just my indication of what I think I'm doing right by the customer. So that's kind of my take on it. I've gotten a question in the last one, which I'll probably preface because some of you may have this question. What if your customers have already bought a challenge pack and they want to upgrade? They already have the club as a result. They already have the Beachbody On Demand as a result. They want to upgrade to this new $99. Do they have to buy a whole new challenge pack, or can they just upgrade? They can upgrade, okay, without having to buy a new challenge pack. They can do it one of two ways. You can three-way call them with Coach Relations, and they can do it with them over the phone. Or the easy way, they go to bodmembershipchange.com. bodmembershipchange.com starting 12/27, and they can upgrade to the new all access pack as long as they have a continuity order of Shakeology on file, because that's one of the stipulations to getting this. You have to have a continuity order of Shakeology. Does that mean they have to remain on Shakeology? The answer I got and in the FAQ is they can cancel their continuity and order it whenever they want, not be in continuity anytime after they start their all access. And the all access will continue until the end of the year. Okay? But when it goes to renew next year, if the continuity is not there, it's going to fail. And they'll be downgraded to the old version of club where it's $39.99, and they only get the member programs and whatever they bought over and above that. So that's how it's going to work. So just know that that's how it's going to work with the upgrades. And then the other question I got a lot was every single year when our customers upgrade, not upgrade, but renew their all access, do we get a commission from it? Yes, you do. You get a $30 commission in PB and TV, depending on, what you're interested in. I think it's 30 PB and 20 TV and a $30 commission, I think is what it is. Or maybe it's 50 PB, 20. I don't have it in front of me, but you do get paid on the renewals as well as TV goes up as well. I can't think of anything else to really kind of get excited about, because I know this wasn't the main purpose of this call, but I did want to take a few minutes and just talk about the all access. It is going to go up after February 28th. It doesn't mean it's going away. It's just going to go back to a normal price point, which I think and predict from listening to Carl is going to be somewhere in the $240, $250 price range, which is probably where it should be priced at all times based on what you're getting. That puts it more in the regular price range. But right now, it would behoove all your customers and coaches to get the new challenge pack before it goes up, because after that, it's not as valuable, even though it's still going to be very valuable as far as, the price break and everything. But it's still going to be $99 to renew every single year for the all access, as long as you have a continuity order. So any questions you guys have, or Glenn?
So as a coach, we can upgrade to that on the 27th.
Yep.
Wow. As long as we have a Shakeology on Home Direct, which we should.
Yeah, I've already upgraded a few months ago to the $99 a year thing, just because I wanted to save $60. That went into effect several months ago, but it wasn't this new all access flavor. So all I'm going to do is call them up on the 27th and say, just switch. For me, it's a flip. It's a flip switch for them, because I'm already paying the $99. They just have to flip to the all access.
Right.
If you're not on the $99 already, you're paying the quarterly already. Still, you may or may not have known they done the $99 a few months ago. But if you're still paying the $39.99 on the 27th, what they'll end up doing, as I understand it, depending on where you are in that 3-month range, if you're on the lower end of it, meaning you just started, they're probably going to refund you and just start you on the $99. If you're kind of past that, I guess that'd be 45 days, right, into halfway in, then I think you basically get prorated for the rest of what you already used, and then they charge you the $99.
Okay. So if we haven't done it, just wait till the 27th to do it then.
Yeah. I mean, I got some coaches who I don't know why they're doing this, but some coaches said they're just going to wait till their renewals come up, like maybe middle of January or something, then just call then and just do it. So there's no, refund, recharge, and prorate. But that's up to you guys. If you.
Jeff, just to put this into perspective, when I first signed up they didn't have challenge packs back then, but they had the package that you could buy to show people all the different DVD programs and see it.
Diamond pack and showcase pack.
Yeah. Now, how much did those cost?
Yeah, good. That's a great perspective. So the Diamond Pack, and that's when I joined too, the Diamond Pack and the Showcase Pack. Actually, Diamond Pack wasn't even out when I joined. It was just the Showcase Pack. That was $200, and you got 2 programs, okay? It was $200, and you got 2 programs. The Diamond Pack was $600, $599, and you got P90X, Insanity, Power 90. You got a total of 5 programs in there. I can't remember them all. And that was $600. So there's some great perspective. This is $199 for the new customer or new coach, or $99 a year to get, what do we have, 50 programs out, in anything that we will come out with. Guys, that's 27 cents a day. I mean, that's just insane.
It is. It's
how many people go on their way to drop their kids off or at work, stop at the vending machine or whatever and get a coffee? It's 27 cents a day. If you have to put it in perspective in the way that I got to come up with $99 a year, take 27 cents and put it in the jar at the end of each day. And then at the end of the month, after your credit card charges you for that, go put that in your account and pay the credit card off, And I got some coaches who actually look at it that close and they nitpick that close. But, 27 cents a day. That's a great perspective, Glenn. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I just had one question about, because I saw where it said you can do the challenge pack, or you can also buy the all access for $99 without Shakeology. But then will that renew with all access if you're not getting Shakeology, if you never have?
When you renew, as I understand it, when you go to upgrade to the all access for $99, they are going to look to see if you have a continuity on your file. If you do not, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. It's just going to fail. And you're going to be asked if you do it with an agent live, or might ask you a question on the website, do you want to start or change your Shakeology order to Home Direct, or start one is what it's going to do. Because obviously if you're not in Home Direct, you're just going in and buying it one time at a time.
Because I have a customer that she'll never do Shakeology because of her just a diet restriction that she has, and she already asked me that. I'm like, I don't know. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you have to have a continuity. But if you really want to help her out, I don't know if you guys are getting packets in the mail, Mary Beth. You could say yes, I'll buy it from you, just because you can use them for your customers, just to give her the all access. You can cancel it in the second month because you don't have to have it as a continuity to continue.
Oh,
it's just when it goes to renew a year later, if that's not on there, it's going to fail.
Okay.
So I'm going to read you exactly what it says here. Hold on. What it says is, let me pull this page up because I have it up. Hold on here. I'm finding it. Do annual all access members who cancel their continuity get to remain all access, or don't have continuity when they access? And it says all access will be available for the remainder of their membership if they cancel, regardless of continuity. However, once their annual membership is over, meaning the $99 is getting ready to renew again, Mary Beth, they will not remain all access and will be downgraded to the old club.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty plain and simple right there.
Okay, thanks.
So that's how I understand it. Will they possibly adjust or change that rule as they go along in the year? Probably, depending on how it sells. But as of right now, you have to have a continuity order on file to continue with it.
Okay.
But could that also be does that have to be Shakeology, or could that be the supplements?
Yeah, I asked that question. I actually sent a question through to Michael. I just sent him a text message. He usually responds to me pretty quick, because my question is this challenge pack, all access, is only being sold with Shakeology. Does that mean that their continuity has to be Shakeology, or if they have 90 PV in performance, does that count? And I'm just waiting for an answer.
Okay.
So, because right now they're only introing this all access pack with Shakeology.
Sure.
Unlike the rest of our challenge packs where we can pick between Shakeology or the performance line, my guess is they're going to introduce this with the performance line at some point in the future, Glenn, like they did in the past. My prediction is there'll be a 3-month period, or 2 months and 3 days, whatever it is, 2 months and 3 days for the Shakeology introductory price. Then they'll put that one back at normal price, and maybe they'll do a 2-month introductory price for the performance line version of it. I don't know. But they're pushing performance line, so I find it hard to believe this flavor not having a performance line version.
Right. Okay. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay. So that's the all access pack. If you think of a question, throw it in the chat window. There's a chat window at the bottom. You can throw it in there. I'll see it flash, and let me just open it up right now, and I'll answer it. Throughout, I'll try to see it. But Mary Beth and Glenn, what did you guys want the main purpose of the call to be about? Because when we planned this a few weeks ago, this all access stuff wasn't necessarily.
The call was mainly about, originally when we had you talk the first time, it was placement and growing a team that is, for the financial part of it, because these are, the people on here are business builders. Yep.
So business builders is the key word I wanted to hear, because brand new coaches are going to just, they're going to want to shoot me if I talk about this in a too deep fashion. So as long as your coaches, are business builders and want to do something with this business down the road, that's the kind of audience that a rank and volume and the most effective way to build a team is really centered around. So let me start by basically talking about, ways that we are taught to build our business. And I'm talking about, when you're signing coaches. I'm not talking about customers in this call. It's basically about rank and volume. The most commonly taught method of building your team is to the immediate left and immediate right. Okay, so if you think of your two legs, your left and right leg, like two ladders leaning against a house, every single rung, and I think you guys know what I mean by a rung, or every step on the ladder, is a new coach position in your organization, whether it's somebody you signed up or even somebody that your own coach signed up. If you're building an immediate left, immediate right, just the next coach goes on each step. That's the way that really the most effective way to build your organization, and I still believe in that way very strongly. Once you get very good at building this business, and I would say, Glenn and Mary Beth are definitely in that realm, you can start manipulating where you put coaches to benefit other coaches, okay? So, if Mary Beth happens to be, I'm just using this example, if Mary Beth happens to be on Glenn's weak leg, which I'm assuming she probably is, on his weak, okay, or is it the strong leg?
Strong
okay.
leg, yeah.
Let's just say that she's on your weak leg, and you actually put her on the weak leg of your weak leg. You can actually fool the system and put a coach ID in there and set the placement anywhere in your downline. Right now, when you guys go into your preferred placement, you guys know what I'm talking about by preferred placement? When you go in there, what you see right now is the ability to change it to left or right, or
share screen.
that I don't ever want you guys to have it on, strong, weak, or first available. You guys should never leave it on that. You guys should always be controlling your own destiny by setting left and right yourself. But what you see more importantly is a coach ID number at the top. You guys recall seeing that coach ID number? And that is your number. By default, it puts your number in there, and it's telling the system you want to go to the left and right. What I mean by manipulating is you can change your coach IDs to Mary Beth's, Glenn. You could change it to Mary Beth's ID and say to the left and right of her. So you can actually fool the system, not fool it. You're telling it where to put that coach. It's still in your downline, but you can reward a coach, a big builder in your organization, by saying, I'm going to put one of my personally sponsored coaches in their weak leg or in their downline, even though I'm the personally sponsored coach. So you can reward a coach by putting a business builder somewhere in your downline. You can put a coach, but you have to be very careful. You know how that works, because you can mess that up and put somebody in a wrong position, and after 5 days, you can't move them. So, before you guys ever do something like that, I would love it if you guys would consult with Glenn and Mary Beth, and if they don't feel confident, they will consult with me. But, that really comes into play when you are experienced in the genealogy and you really want to build your team most effectively by rewarding a coach where that coach is going to thrive with a lot of team volume. Now, I'm going to give an example of how that's done. So I have a coach in my downline by the name of Christy Moore. She is one of my coaches on my weak leg, happens to be the same leg that Glenn is in, my right leg. And she is a big business builder. She is a 7 or 6, Glenn? 6.
6.
She's a lifetime 6-star. She's been on the teeter 7-star diamond. She is a super, super great recruiter. And she has asked me from time to time if I would put a business builder in her downline because she understands what that means. So I would actually put her ID at the top, right where where you see the 86701. I would put that. Let's just say that's my ID, which is what's default. That obviously happens to be either Glenn or Mary Beth's ID.
Yeah, that's nice.
But yep. Let's just say that was mine. I would actually put Christy Moore's ID there and then say I want to go to the left or right or her, because A, she asked me and she deserves that because she's a big business builder and she needs a little help building one leg. And B, I know that because of the way she builds her business, she's a 6-star diamond, that coaches are going to be taken care of down there. She's going to put other coaches underneath them. They're not going to be stranded on an island. So I feel good about doing that. Now, the misconception is because I put an ID there of hers, she's going to get the coach. She's going to be the person-sponsored coach. No, you're signing them up in your business center. You're just putting them under somebody else's ID. They're still your personally sponsored coach, and they still show up on the leg of that business that Christy Moore or whoever your person happens to be. Now, I don't expect you guys all to understand exactly what I'm saying, but when you get to be more experienced and you're at a point where, you've got a big enough team that you want to reward somebody, come back and talk to myself or Glenn or Mary Beth, and we'll get more in depth with that. But that just goes to show you what you can do in this business. You can strategically place coaches in your downline under star coaches and not only reward that coach and see them be inspired more to work their business harder, but you're still going to see the same volume roll up to that same side of the leg that you put them on. So it's still benefit. It's a win-win in so many situations. And that is one of the big keys into building a deep business, is rewarding your coaches in a way that makes them feel important and inspires them more to work harder. So Glenn knows I put a coach or two or a few over the years under him. And, vice versa. I've done it for a lot of my coaches who deserve to get that. You guys will do the same thing. But until you guys get to that point where you have a big enough team where you can start rewarding people for right now to the immediate left or immediate right as you're building your team, knowing that hopefully you guys know that one coach on each side makes you emerald, 4 coaches on each side makes you diamond, with one of those 4 on each side becoming emerald themselves. And then I'm skipping over Ruby because most people go from emerald right to Ruby. That's just the way it is. But if we want to go back, Ruby is 2 coaches on each side, with one of those 2 becoming emerald. And then obviously to be a star diamond, 1-star diamond, that diamond that you cut from your own team can be on either leg, meaning one of your personally sponsored coach hits diamond. It can be on either leg. And then in order to be 2-star, you have to have 1 diamond on each leg. In order to be 5-star, you have to have 3 and 2 or 2 and 3. In order to be a 10-star diamond, you have to have 5 and 5. It can't be 7 over here and 3 over here. It's got to be 5 and 5, which is why you see a lot of coaches jump from 9-star all the way to 13-star because they really got a lot of diamonds on one leg. It just took them forever to get that 5th on one leg. And then in order to be a 15-star diamond, you have to have 8 and 7 or 7 and 8, to be a 15-star diamond. So that's the way I said the primary ranks that I call them milestone ranks. Your milestone ranks are emerald, ruby, diamond, 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and then the last rank of 15-star. That doesn't mean that those 15-star diamonds don't have more than 15 stars. It's just Beachbody quits counting at 15-star diamond in that business center. Some other key points to remember. And I may ruffle a few feathers by saying this, especially for the people who like recognition. But I think going for 15-star diamond is not the best business decision. I'm being politically correct. 15-star diamond is not the most financially beneficial way to build your business. You see so many people go to 15-star because they do want the recognition, because Beachbody put so much emphasis on 15-star diamond for a couple reasons. They put so much emphasis and they put it in big lights that coaches want to achieve that. They think that's the pinnacle of this business. Well, what Beachbody doesn't necessarily tell you in the white bright lights is the fact that Beachbody's comp plan quits paying you at 10-star diamond. Okay, so you get a price, you get a raise based on your volume. As long as you have enough volume, you get a raise at every new rank. So for those of you that haven't read the comp plan, I want to write this down. As a Emerald coach, you can make up to $250 in cycle bonuses a week. Okay, so you can make $1,000 a month as an Emerald coach, $250 a week in cycle bonuses. When you get to Ruby, you can make up to $1,000 a week in cycle bonuses, as long as your volume is mature enough. And we'll talk about the difference in volume and rank here in a second. As a diamond coach, you can make up to $2,000 a week if you have the volume for that. And then every star diamond, it goes up $1,000. So if you could make, I'm going to quiz you guys. Just put a number up, your fingers. If you could make $2,000 at diamond, what can you make at 1 star? 3, all right. So if you are a 5-star diamond, how much can you make? 7, man, you got a smart team, man. 7,000 at 5-star. And then it goes up. So what you think, the way you think of it is your star diamond rank plus 2. So if you're 1 plus 2 is 3. If you're 2, it's 4. If you're 5, it's 7. At 10-star diamond, you can make $12,000 a week. And that's where the comp plan quits paying you. So when you go to 15-star diamond, as you see a lot of coaches do, you are giving 5 free diamonds to Beachbody they don't have to pay you on. 5 free diamonds. So let's look at it in a reversal way. If you would have taken those 5 diamonds and put them in a second business center, which you can open at 2-star diamond, right? If you were to take those 5 additional diamonds that you use to get to 15-star diamond and put them in an additional business center, how much could you make on those 5 diamonds if you had mature enough volume? An extra $7,000 a week that they don't have to pay you. I don't know about you, but $7,000 a week they don't have to pay you is a lot of freaking money.
Plus a new business center.
Yes. Because
you'd be a 2-star in that business center, so you'd get another business center.
Absolutely. So my personal goal, and I've had a little bit of success in this business, is my goal is to build multiple business centers. Okay. You're allowed to have up to 25 business centers as a coach. Can you imagine having 25 mini-me's of you running around? That's 25 different email addresses you have to keep track of. It's a good problem to have because every new business center is a new email address, right? Right now, I manage 5 business centers. I have 3 of my own and 2 of my wife's. Okay, so I have 5 business centers because I've went, 7-star diamond. I've went 3-star or 5-star diamond and 3-star diamond. So, I have multiple business centers because I went 2-star a few times. My wife's, went 2-star once, so she got to open up another business center. So I have 5 different emails I can log in with. So the potential there in 5 different business centers, if I build it to what I call the sweet spot, my goal is to build as many business centers as possible to 9-star diamond. That's what I call the sweet spot. 9-star diamond is the sweet spot. Now I always get the question, so I'm going to preempt it before one of you smarties ask, is you just told me 10-star diamond was where the comp plan stopped. Why would you not want to build it to 10-star? Well, if you go back a few seconds ago, I told you that in order to be 10-star, you have to have what? 5 and 5, right? That's very hard to do. Most of you guys will never get to 10-star without immediately jumping to 12 or 13 because You can't control always where the builders on each leg are going to happen. But in order to be a 9-star diamond, you can have 2 on one leg and 7 on the other. You can be totally unbalanced, still be a 9-star diamond making $11,000 a week. If you're making $11,000 a week, you're probably not going to be too upset about not making the $12,000 if you're a 10-star diamond. Okay, how many people's life would just be amazing if you're making $11,000 a week? Money does solve a lot of issues. So I like to say the sweet spot is 9-star diamond. And if you are lucky enough to have extremely balanced legs, yeah, go for 10. But if you're unlucky like me in the sense that you can't always control that, build to 9-star and just build multiple business centers to 9-star diamond. That's my goal, and that's what we teach my team anyways. I'm not saying to not go for 15-star. I'm not saying that at all because I don't want to dilute or hurt anybody's dreams who are basically recognition based. Everybody is driven by something different. I personally, and this sounds really funny coming from somebody who's gotten a lot of it from the company, but I don't really care about recognition that much. I don't need to be recognized. I don't need to have validation that I'm doing the right thing. And again, this comes from somebody who's gotten a lot of recognition from Beachbody in this business. I've gotten the CEO award and some other things, from the company that I'm very proud of. I don't want to diminish that, but I've never been more proud than to see like my coaches like Glenn and Mary Beth go up on stage at Summit, or see my own personally sponsored coaches go up on stage and be recognized. That's when I'm most proud. When I get to sit back like a proud father, seeing my kids walk across the stage. That's my proud moments. So that's my form of recognition that I love. So for me, recognition isn't a huge thing on a personal level. So 15-star diamond doesn't. And plus for me, just thinking from a financial standpoint, just being a numbers guy, if it's not going to benefit me in the bottom line, why do I want to go for 15-star diamond? So the next question I get is, why do people do it then? Well, one, they want to go to California and have their name in lights and be sitting in one of those blue chairs and have Carl shower them with love and get their flowers and be on live with Carl and be in videos and all that stuff. That's cool. That's awesome recognition. You get your name out there and it may help your business quite a bit, but they're not giving you more money for that. You do get a nice little bonus check. I think it's like $25,000 for hitting it. It's like a one-time bonus. But if you were a 9-star diamond or 10-star diamond making that much, you can make that $25,000 back in a month that they're giving you as a bonus that you're not making on those 5 diamonds. You can make that back in a month. So coaches do it for the recognition. They also do it for the quarterly bonus that you get at 15-star diamond. So write this down so you have an idea. The average, because when you get to 2-star, and this is just some things to look forward to, when you get to 2-star diamond, you have a whole new form of income coming to you. You are now participating in the Beachbody quarterly bonus pool. Okay, what Beachbody does is they put a big buttload of money. Actually, 2, 5. They have 4 buckets of money that they fill all throughout each quarter for the 2, 5, 10, and 15-star diamonds. It's called a quarterly bonus pool. Think of it like a Christmas bonus at the end of the year. Okay, but you get it 4 times a year. So if you're a 2-star diamond, they look at all the 2-star diamonds in the company and they say, okay, I'm just giving you guys a very easy number to think about. There are $10,000 in this bucket. It's more like 10 million, but there's like $10,000 in this bucket. We have 5 2-star diamonds in the company. Every person gets $2,000. That makes sense how they do it? Every quarter you get that. And then the next quarter, if that $10,000 they put away jumps to, we now have 10 2-star diamonds, everybody gets $1,000. So the bonus pool kind of goes down each quarter. They do adjust it so it kind of stays, somewhat lucrative. But that's how bonus pools work. So the typical payout for a 2-star diamond bonus is about $1,200. That's what I've seen for being 2-star.
It's down a little bit now, Jeff. It's more around the $800 range.
Okay. And it may jump back up if they put more based on profits, but $800 to $1,200 every quarter for doing nothing more than holding your rank. Okay. and being that rank for at least 6 weeks in a quarter. It's one of the things you have to do. At the 5-star range, it's somewhere in the vicinity of $2,500, $2,500. And again, that depends on how many 5 stars are in the company. And let me preface this too by saying, if you're a 5-star diamond, you get the 5-star bonus and you get the 2-star bonus. Not just like one or the other. You get both of them. Okay, because I am a 2-star and I'm a 5-star. Then as a 10-star diamond coach, you get a bonus check of about $7,000 or $8,000. It's been as high as 10. So for all the 10-star diamond coaches, which aren't as many, you split that bonus pool, and it's been somewhere between $7,000 and $10,000. Okay, so now you're getting $7,000, you're getting $2,500, and you're getting $800 every quarter because you hold all those ranks. Then the 15, and this is why some of the people do it. The 15-star diamond coach remains 15-star every quarter because they get about $35,000 to $40,000 bonus check for being 15-star diamond. Now, I see, Monica, you're like, holy crap, that's a lot of money for being 15-star. The first 2 15-star diamonds back in 2010, I went to Summit and they awarded the first 2 ever, which was Christine Dwyer, which we all know, she's still around, and a coach who's no longer in the company called Yolanda Harris. They were the first 2 ever. They stood on stage holding a check for $135,000. That was the bonus check for being 15-star diamond back then.
For the quarter.
For the quarter only. So they're getting that 4 times a year. Right? They're getting somewhere around $600,000 for being 15-star diamond.
And what happened to the one coach?
What was that?
What happened to the one coach?
She was a professional network marketer who brought her team over, and they all went diamond like within a month, and she got 15-star diamond. And then all of her people left for the next big thing to come about. So she dropped from 15-star down to emerald.
Oh, my Lord.
So
Okay.
professional network marketers don't work in our business because Beachbody is about relationships. It's about helping people achieve healthy goals. It doesn't work in our business because we're not selling candles. We're not selling makeup. We're selling integrity, in my opinion. I'm not a Beachbody coach because I'm a professional network marketer. I'm a Beachbody coach because I love helping people and I love health and fitness. So we are this is what I've been telling all my coaches for the last 4 months too, Glenn. Our business may have taken a dip in the last quarter, but we're so much different in the foundation of our businesses than others. While other businesses may never recover because people just realize they don't miss not buying that wine or that makeup or all that stuff when they go back to being healthy, financially healthy again, and the economy picks up, people will miss not buying the Shakeology or being fit when they're having health issues. We're a whole different foundation. So I've seen this dip 3 times over the last 8 years because I've been around quite a while, and it always goes back up and goes back up with the vengeance because we are a different type of company. So lost my train of thought there. But the quarterly bonus is a cool reason to get to those ranks, but you have to look at it as just that. It's a bonus, okay? It could go away at any given time, and we can't bitch about it or cry about it because it's a bonus. How many of you guys who work a corporate job have seen perks go away, over the last several years? Same thing here. It's a bonus. Now, I will say the quarterly bonuses have remained steady, and there's no talks of them going away for the foreseeable future. And I admire Beachbody for that. But the 15-star diamond bonus, I just mentioned to you those first 2 coaches who got $135,000 checks. It's all the way down to $35,000 a quarter because there's so many 15 stars now. It's becoming more and more diluted. And so now maybe when it was back then, when it was worth $600,000 a year, Glenn, it might have been worth it to go for 15-star diamond. It's no longer worth it now when you can make $35,000 back in a couple months versus having to hold that rank. So right. I don't like to call it the 15-star decision or 15-star is dumb. I don't like to say that. I like to call it the 15-star decision. And the way you guys find out if you guys should go for it or not, meaning, am I driven by recognition or am I driven by certainty? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If you're driven by recognition, meaning you get chills whenever Glenn and Mary Beth say your name on the call, Now that's a cool thing. And I'm just kind of being funny there, but
Gary,
if you like to hear your name,
see you chill when I call your name, Gary.
if you like to hear your name in big lights and you like to be recognized and you feel proud, that might be something you want to look at. That's awesome. I applaud you for that. But if you're more of a person like myself that wants a certain level, when I say certainty, I want a certain level of this or that. I want a certain level of time back in my life. I want a certain level of money back in my life that I can afford to do, all summer vacations like Glenn and Mary Beth do on the road with their camper. If you want to be able to do those types of things, then you're a certain type of person. You should probably look at building multiple business centers and maximize the earning potential in each one. Now, is there a level of being a little bit of both? Yeah, there is. There is. You just have to make the decision then. Is it more important to me to have a certain level of income each and every single week? Because I can guarantee you that some of those 15-star diamond coaches who have not held on to it, because here's another fact they told us in CAB, which I'm probably not supposed to reveal, but I'm going to anyways, about 70% of the 15-star diamond coaches do not maintain that more than once or twice, meaning some of their diamonds fall off. They're not 15-star diamond each quarter, and they're not given that $35,000 bonus, and they could have taken those 5 stars and put them somewhere else. So they live with regret. So now if you're a rock star like Melanie Mitro or Lindsay Matway or Christine Dwyer, if you're like one of those three, which I'm not, I don't even look anything like them. if you have the ability to be like that and have no trouble maintaining 15 stars, because the reality of it is Lindsay, Melanie, and Christine are like triple 15-star diamonds. They have multiple business centers that are 15-star diamonds or higher because people just flock to them. It's probably a smart decision for you. But I'm never going to be able to duplicate and look like any of them. So I'm going to build a different way. You just have to ask yourself, what are my qualities? What do I want from this business? And if you want to have a deeper discussion about that, have Glenn and Mary Beth look me up one day and we can have that deeper discussion. But I'm just giving you guys something to look forward to and to think about as you guys become rock stars, and you will in this business. I have no doubts that every single one of you guys can be 15-star diamonds or higher if you really want that. But the reality of it is, I think most of you probably would be happy as between 5 and 10 star, making somewhere around 10 grand a week. And, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be very open and honest. I make anywhere between $8,000 and $13,000 a week as a Beachbody coach. From my multiple business centers, depending on the time of year, what programs are going on. Right now, it's in that 10-ish range, just because we've had some volume dips and it's slower right now. It's picking back up, and it will pick up even more with the All Access pack. But I worked very hard and listened to my coach, learned this business, partner with people like Glenn and Mary Beth, and hitch my star on people like them. And as a result, I can see Glenn and Mary Beth doing the same thing within a certain amount of time, and you guys doing the same thing, because you guys are actually probably, in my opinion, I'm biased. We have probably the best person in the whole company that knows how to build a business, and that's not me. Who is it, Glenn?
Jason Diebold.
Jason Diebold, our upline leader, who hopefully you guys have all heard of from either Glenn or Mary Beth. He's my coach. He has been consulted by Beachbody on comp plan changes. He has been up on stage at leadership to talk about the same things I'm talking about tonight. He is probably the foremost smartest person in this company when it comes to building the most effective team. Jason makes around $15,000 to $20,000 a week, which is over $1 million a year doing this. So you guys are in a very good team, and that's why we teach our coaches how to build the most effective way. Some of the things that we say is very unpopular in Beachbody's eyes, which is why you're never going to see me or Jason up on stage at Summit, because they don't want coaches to know the most effective way to build their business. They want coaches focusing on 15-star diamond. Because they know they're going to get 5 free diamonds. And it's no fault to Beachbody. It's a smart business decision for them. It really is. But people like myself and Jason will actually do what most coaches won't do. We'll sit down in the bathroom and read the comp plan over the course of a few months or whatever. Instead of reading your magazines you get in the mail, print off the comp plan and read it in the bathroom over the next month. You guys will be that much smarter for it, and you'll understand why I'm talking about some of the things I'm talking about tonight. Now, hopefully, and one of my fears always, Glenn and Mary Beth, when I talk to coaches about this stuff, is that like their brains are ready to explode at the end of the call. And some of you guys may feel that way. It's not meant to make you more confused or scared about what the future is. Take one day at a time and learn. Don't worry about anything other than where you're at right now and getting to the next rank, because I guarantee you with every single rank advancement, what comes in between there is knowledge you're going to pick up, and things go from being gray to being crystal clear. So don't worry about 5-star diamond right now. Worry about diamond if you're not there yet. If you're already at diamond, look at 2-star. Look at each rank individually and don't be overwhelmed by everything. I'm just giving you guys a big picture of what's possible, because Glenn and Mary Beth thought a lot of you guys as business builders. This business is very much for real. I will vouch for it in the fact that I've been doing this since 2008. And, I left a very comfortable job. A job that I hated, but it was a very comfortable job with AT&T. You don't leave a job like AT&T after 18 years unless you're very sure of something. And I didn't have a choice. When AT&T was actually getting in the way of something I was doing on the side, you have to look at flipping that a little bit. And when it became prevalent that my day job was getting in the way of me growing, I had to quit. When you first start, which is probably where many of you guys are right now, by a shake of heads, you're doing Beachbody very much on the side while you do the correct thing to do and work your day job to support your family and your lives. Beachbody is your side gig, but with effort every single day and every single month, your side gig is going to become your main gig. Within 2.5 years, my Beachbody business had already doubled what I was making at AT&T. And I still didn't quit because I'm a very conservative person. And I was getting free insurance from AT&T, right? So, but it was still 2.5 times the income. It was about year 4 where it was about 4 times the income that I said, okay, I got to start looking at getting rid of this 60 hours a week at AT&T and going full time here. But it wasn't until actually like the end of year 5 that I left, when they tried to put me in an office again. I was working at home for AT&T, and I just quit right in the spot. So that's what I want you guys to get to, a point where you just had enough of it and said, I quit. And you felt very comfortable about doing it. But this is very much for real. Again, the foundation of this business is so different compared to other network marketing businesses. Maybe it's something you guys never thought you'd ever do, because it was for me. When I worked at AT&T, I was approached 10 times a day by people about businesses like the wine business or Amway or whatever. And I ran away screaming because I didn't want to sell toilet paper and cereal on a website. I didn't want to do that. But then when Jason came to me about Beachbody, I poo-pooed him for the first 6 months. But then when I realized that this was about health and fitness, and I was actually enjoying talking to people through Facebook about my success and my journey, I finally listened to him and said, Jason, this is something very different. This seems like it's something that's based on really helping people and something I could see myself doing for years. And he said, dumbass, I've been trying to tell you that for months. So that was my journey, and maybe some of you guys kind of joined on the same, level. You had to analyze everything, but just know that what you're doing as a Beachbody coach is not, not the typical pampered chef type thing or makeup type thing. It's not that. And I'm not knocking those businesses. I'm not. I'm just telling you that my wife still to this day, when she gets invited to a pampered chef party or a purse party or a candlelight party or a 31 party or whatever, she goes to the calendar and she prays to God something else is on that day so she doesn't have to go. That's the type of business I was afraid of joining. I don't feel that way with this. That's not what we do. So, I could go into so much more in depth on specific things, but let me just close by talking about one final important topic. You guys heard me say what's possible at each level. Diamond worth $2,000, up to $2,000. The key word is up to. 5-star diamond is worth up to $7,000. That up to the ceiling at each rank only happens with mature volume. Okay, I don't want there to be any misconceptions about this. I don't want Monica to get to diamond and say, damn it, Glenn, I'm not making $2,000 a week. Okay, I don't want Rachel getting to 5-star diamond and saying, I'm not making $7,000 a week. This is bullcrap. I don't want you guys to get to that point and complain to Glenn and Mary Beth. The way you make that is you have to have mature volume, meaning you have to help your team grow and grow. Every coach you guys sign is a leaf on the tree. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that. Every coach you guys sign is a bud on a tree this time of year. Not much is growing, right? It's a dead season right now for growth outside on the trees. But as you sprinkle love and train those people and help them, like Glenn and Mary Beth are doing with you guys, or I do with my team, every coach on that tree turns into a bud, like springtime, okay? That leaf starts to grow bigger as it becomes May, and then more leaves come about underneath that leaf. That's that coach building their team, okay? That's how you have mature volume growth. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what I mean by mature volume growth. My weak leg on any given leg, and I hope you guys understand what I mean by weak and strong leg. You guys all what I mean by weak and strong leg. Every single week, every single day when you log in the back office, on the very primary screen, you're seeing, what your left leg is doing and what your right leg is doing. It's probably somewhere in the vicinity of a few hundred to a couple thousand points, right? That's kind of what you see. Over the course of time, and all these leaves that you're helping, all these new coaches you're helping build their business, meaning you're giving them time, you're giving them effort. It's like I told you guys, I done like 9 calls today. Those were calls with my coaches, helping them build their business. Especially some of my newer coaches who had questions from some of the training groups I got going. But over the course of time, that few hundred to a couple thousand volume points you see in your back office at the end of the week will turn into mine. My weak leg this week is about 65,000 points. My strong leg is somewhere around 300,000 points. That's from all the coaches in my downline and all the business that they're doing. Does that make sense, what I'm talking about? So in order to capitalize in each rank, you have to have a lot of volume in your and that volume is realized by helping your coaches, and it just takes care of itself. I'm actually at a point, and I'm not proud of it. I can't do much about it in a quick fashion, but I'm at a point where I'm capping out, it's called. I have so much volume, but I don't have a high enough rank in my first business center that I'm throwing about $2,000 away every single week. So what that basically means is I have to cut 2 new diamonds. I have to get from 7 to 9-star diamond in order to be able to use all my volume every single week. Because the way it works, and hopefully you guys remember, in order to cycle bonus, it takes 200 volume points from the strong leg and 100 volume points from the weak leg, and that produces a cycle bonus of either $14, $16, or $18, depending on your rank. 14 for emerald, 16 for rubies, 18 for diamond and higher. So let's say you had 5,000 and 10,000. Well, those buckets are perfectly balanced where they're going to empty out, right? So that's the way it works. Every time a 200 and 100 hits, every time it takes 200 and 100, that's worth $18. Well, if I have like 35,000 or 40,000 on one leg and 70 on the other, that's a lot of 200s and 100s coming out every single week. So that's where the money really starts to build in this business, is through the cycle bonus program. You're never going to be rich off of just selling programs and Beachbody on-demand access. The way you become wealthy as a Beachbody coach is by actually doing the integral thing. Integrity is a big thing with me. The way you become very wealthy is by doing, I apologize if you guys aren't religious people, but I am, by doing the godlike thing and helping people. What a novel concept, right? I'm helping my coaches grow their business. By helping your coaches grow their business, you are now building volume and being rewarded by more and more cycle bonuses, which result in thousands of dollars a week. You know, so volume and rank go together. Rank, too many people chase rank. They don't have the mature volume for it, and they throw a lot of money away when they could, you know, they should have built at a more steady pace, meaning they should have spent more time focusing on their coaches and really helping them build great businesses and building their volume versus just quickly cutting diamonds and just seeing them drop off. You know, there's a fine balance. You want to build more and more diamonds over time, but the people you build, you want to continually give your time to and continually help them and give them all the knowledge you know, so they continue to grow and your volume continues to grow. Does that make sense? I'm never going to be, I'm not knocking them again, a Melanie or, you know, Lindsay Matway who signs 35 coaches a month. That's not going to be me, not because I don't think I could do it doing other ways. I have every confidence I could. I could start an ad campaign or do something that attracts people. But personally, I don't have enough time to give to 35 new coaches a month. And I know they don't either, as I've talked to Lindsay about it because she was on cab with me. Basically, in a nutshell, they sign 35 coaches a month. They put them through a system, meaning do the stuff that I'm telling you to do on this page. And those that stick, stick. Those that don't. If I've heard anything about the big top 10 coaches, one complaint is that they can't get time from them. Well, how can you afford to give, you know, 35 people a month your time, and that keeps capitalizing over month after month? I like to sign 2 to 3 to 4 coaches a month, a number that I can handle in helping them grow their business. I'm growing very slow and steady versus very fast and seeing what sticks. And that's just a method that I choose, but it's worked pretty well. I'm not making as much as Melanie or Lindsay, but at some point, guys, and I firmly believe this, at some point, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way at all, because I'm very blessed and happy with what I have accomplished, but at some point, when you're making, whether it's $10,000 or $50,000 a week, how much is too much? And at what point does it actually seem like monopoly money to you? So, you know, I don't need to make that much. I'm even at a point right now in my business where I'm given to a lot of certain causes because it's, to some degree, it feels like monopoly money. And I've given more to my church, or I've given more to, you know, a couple of our coaches in our downline that are fighting cancer right now. You know, I'm trying to give back in a way to make myself feel better about, you know, the blessing that I've been given by God. So I don't mean to get all religious or anything. I'm just a firm believer. So with that being said, I think I've probably either made your guys' head blow up enough, or, you know, hopefully it's at a point where you guys are inspired by what is possible and you have a decent knowledge of maybe where to start looking forward to and how to build correctly. But obviously, as you guys rank advance and move up, and you will, you know, you consult with Glenn and Mary Beth, who will in turn consult with me if they have more questions about the most effective way and the next steps for each one of you. Because you're not going to go from wherever you're at to 5-star diamond overnight. That's going to take some time. And again, it's going to take you spending time with your coaches to do that. Because in order to be 5-star diamond coach, and I keep mentioning 5 because that's just like the first really, really cool rank where you get your special phone number to the diamond line, so you don't have to call the normal diamond line anymore. When you call them, they answer you by name. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? You know, it's just a cool perk that you get as a 5-star diamond. But that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen with actually spending a lot of time with those 5-star diamonds, because in order for you to be 5-star, you have to have 5 people that turn into diamonds. And if you guys know how hard it is for you to turn into a diamond, you have to help your coaches do that too. So it takes some time, but it will happen for you if you guys want it. And that's just really what it comes down to. It comes down to, and I've always looked at this business as very simple math. If I want something to happen, I have to believe it's going to happen. I can't say if. When you say if, or it might, it won't. It will never happen if you say to Glenn and Mary Beth in a mentoring call, man, I hope I get to 5-star diamond, or I hope this happens, or, if this happens, it's not going to happen. You have to say to them when it happens, or I will get there, because you have to believe it. You have to believe it. Every time I went after a goal, I wrote it down and I stared at it every day to the point where it just ate at me. That's just how I'm driven. I'm wired that way. I have to say I'm going to do it. If I don't say I'm going to do it, I won't. If it's not important to me, I won't say I'm going to do it. That's just how this business has worked for me. So my current goal right now is to get to 9-star diamond so I can quit throwing money away each week. So I have set a goal for myself, by Summit, to be a 9-star diamond coach. And I actually want to do it, to be honest with you, by the end of March. But I have a goal, and I've told my coaches, my success partners, and my wife, I will be 9-star diamond, and I'll make it happen. So, all right, Glenn, Mary Beth, what questions do you guys have, or anybody?
So much.
I think we set a record for length of call, but I don't care because those were 2 awesome topics. And like you said, Jeff, you could go on and I could sit here and listen. But yeah, guys, don't get overwhelmed by this information. We know where each of you are at with your business. So we'll meet you where you're at and help you grow it. That's kind of our theory and thoughts on the whole thing. So,
yeah. Monica, you asked in the chat, what about the 30-day trial that has been previously offered? Would that be all access? The 30-day trial that comes with the challenge pack, you're talking about like the single program challenge packs, not the club pack. That will not be all access because that is just like a trial. You have to pay the $99 to get that all access pass up in one fee. The free 30-day trial is just going to be the traditional, here's our core programs, and that's just to give people a taste of it. In order for the all access, they have to pay the $99 and be on continuity.
Awesome. All right, guys. Good. Our eyes are bloodshot, and
but thank you so much.
Yeah, Jeff, that was awesome.
Nobody's head exploded, so you guys are ready for this. So
yeah, and you guys, you can message us or even post right and stay true with questions as you think of them.
And I love the Star Wars shirt, dude. I went and saw Rogue One twice already, so.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.